Good evening. I call this meeting of the Finance Committee to order at 4:30 PM. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call. Both directors are present. Moving on to approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda.
Okay, I'll motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Perfect, agenda approved. Moving on to public comment. Are there any members of the public who would like to make a public comment at this time?
All right. Hi, I'm Sergeant Jim Kerfman, United States Army, retired of course. I come here today because I got something I want to show you. If I may, give me a couple of minutes here. Water. This is a chemical kit that you use for swimming pools. This particular one surges out chlorine. Okay.
Is there any way you could do this at the podium? So that we
See
can
it?
hear you?
Yeah,
We
nobody
just
can
want
see or hear.
everyone.
Okay. Reason I'm here is because I want to talk about the administration fees. You know, a whole bunch of years ago when I moved up here, the water fees was like $35 every 2 months. It was great, chump change, not a big deal. As the years went by, it increased. Now, as of this last month, I got my water bill, and it was, if I can find it here, yeah, $77 for my water. That's the one that I just got. Oh, here it is. $77.42. Now I got to looking at this, and it's a tier 1 deal, so it's a 1-inch line. My total for the water usage was $10.91. The chromium 6 surcharge was $9.71. That ends up to being about $20 and change. But I was charged $77.42. I have no cows, no horses, no hogs, no sheep. I got 6 chickens that give me eggs. And that's all I have. Yet my bill is $77. So my question is, we'd like to see, my neighbor and I would like to see what those charges are actually for in detail. Because I think I have a solution for that. And I'd like to have you guys put that on next month or October? Next month? August. Put that on the docket so we can talk about that. Because I know there's nobody else here who wants to talk, but that's what I was told that I have to do. To see if you guys will put it on the docket so we can talk about it at that point there. But as I see it, and as my neighbor sees it, I don't see any improvements. I don't see any improvements at all in service, and I don't see any improvements in the water. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever money we're spending on something is way too much. You're charging us. Okay, I'm kind of an old timer now. All of us probably lives up here. Not all of us, but probably a majority of us are old timers. And we live on a fixed income. So, and we don't get any raises like they say we're gonna get. So our money is always the same, and we get always the same amount of money every month. But these charges, much like everything else, the government's in, God only knows where the government's going. Fuel prices are almost tripled. The food prices have doubled for sure, clothes and shoes, all that stuff. But we don't have means to, as us who are retired, don't have ways to improve our income. So what we'd like to do is have an explanation for all the charges that we are getting charged for. For example, this $9.71, which is for chromium 6. I mean, who authorized that? Who said that we're going to do that? And what is the outcome? Apparently not too much. And I don't know what we paid for it, but we have been paying $9.71, $10, for what, 4 years? And I keep asking, when's that going to be paid off? I get conflicting responses. First time I talked about it in like 24, and they said, well, it's going to be done in 06. Well, now it's 28. And where does that money go? I mean, what do you do with the money? Now, I know it's not the fellows in blue that come out and fix the roads and all that stuff. You guys are doing all you can, and I get it. I understand. You guys are doing all you can. But these prices are just, you're getting to the point to where we have to save up our money to pay the damn water bill. I mean, I'm by myself, and I have to pay $77 for water. To me, that's too much. It really is too much. So with your permission, I would like to put that on the docket for next month, so you have an opportunity to explain all this to us. Because, like I said, I don't see any improvements anywhere, and the water certainly isn't any better.
Hey, can I ask a quick question? We would like to address all of your concerns that we're listening to what you have to say, and would like to, would give a breakdown. I think it'd be appropriate to have that on there, but I'm not quite sure what
that does is that seeks out chlorine.
Okay.
So in that water, there's that much water in that chlorine. Now years ago, I came down here and pitched a bitch, you remember, and you sent some old timer out, probably my age then, because he worked at the tank farm there on Wilson Ranch. Nice guy. He came out and he had his equipment and stuff, and I go, okay, come with me. I went in the bathroom, got a glass like that, and I put those 6 drops in. He looked at it and he goes, wow. I go, that's chlorine. I says, you're putting too much chlorine in the tanks. And we talked for probably an hour, hour and a half, and he goes, okay. He says, oh, I'll square that away. A month or so later, it took a while to take it all out, but he dropped it way down to where that was barely yellow. And it smells. In the early morning hours, you go in and wash your face and brush your teeth, like, ooh, the water smells bad. Now, the last thing I want to say, who wants to take a drink? Want to take a drink of that?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have no idea what you brought in, so I'm not going
Well,
to.
it's all water. Your water, my water.
No, I'm not sure. So a pool chlorine kit
Yep.
is not probably the most accurate representation of what
Well, I'll tell you.
We have requirements from the state for chlorine residuals.
Well,
and
apparently it's not working. It's too much.
I couldn't tell you that based on,
Well,
I don't know what the
I used to work for Rainsoft.
Okay.
I sold thousands of dollars worth of equipment for people that own their own homes, that their water was that bad, even worse. Because what that did, it was an RO system. I know you guys, I don't know if you're from the department that actually gets out and does all the work out in the field, but You guys are doing all you can, I get it. I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming any but the finance people who makes these charges. And who decides on that?
If you're referring to how our rates are established, we have a rate study done every year. We look at the rate study. Typically, it's about every 5 years we have a rate study to look at income and expenses, what's required, including the regulations, operations, customer service.
I get that. I understand.
So
I know. But the fact still remains, this year, it was an $8 increase. Next year, you want a $20 increase. Why? I don't see anything. I'm not trying to mess you guys up.
So we can't
But-
comment because it's not on the agenda?
I'm sorry, say what?
We can't comment because it's not on the agenda today? But I would support putting it on at a board meeting in the future, the water rate study, going over the Chrome 6 budget, the admin fees and all that should be explained in that water rate study. I would support that.
Well, if we can do that for the next meeting, which is next month sometime, when is it?
August
12th. Remember that. That'll be the next finance meeting?
That's the next one.
Not the board meeting, I mean, the decision people that make the rates.
That would be the
That's
entire
the
board.
finance.
It
That'd
would
be
be the
your
entire
board.
board.
Meeting, yeah.
So next month, with your permission, I think I have a solution. I'd like to explain it then.
Do we need to submit that to you?
Yeah, do we need to,
In writing or?
can you just put it on the,
I think you're good with what you've asked for.
can you just, put it on the meeting like today, and then I'll get up and stagger through it for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. All right, item 3, approval of the minutes. You go ahead.
I was going to say, they all look good to me, so I will move the minutes.
All right, I second, so minutes approved. Moving on to item 4, review of disbursements. Is that you?
We can go through them, or I was just waiting to see if you guys had questions on any of the disbursements for the month of June, and then the financials are preliminary as we're still going through the year-end process for these. So they're pretty close, but there are still some entries we're working on for all the financials, and there's going to be a lot of the payables in there. Getting ready for the audit that is at the end of August.
I do have a couple questions. I saw the Rojas payments on there, but have we terminated
Yeah,
that contract now?
July is the last payment, and we were discussing that this morning, and we're even going to have some questions for them for the services rendered for the month of July.
Okay. And then I saw some Corollo payments on there. Are we getting close to being done with the hydraulic model?
I do not have the answer for that one,
Okay.
but I can get that for you.
Okay. That's it for me on disbursement.
Okay, I'm good on that. So quarterly financials, any questions?
I have no questions on quarterly financials.
Okay. So review of solar project credits and expenses. Feverishly flipping through the pages. There it is.
Is the loan paid off in 2034? Is that the last payment? 2034 for solar?
Yes, that looks correct.
We have a ways to go, but we're getting close.
Yeah. And the credits this year, those have only been trued up and reconciled for the first half. Those reports come in a little bit later, so those haven't even been reported for April through June yet. So that's why those numbers
I was
are.
gonna say that they're a little bit down.
They are down, yes. We still get more reporting coming through.
Okay. And then review of quarterly investment report.
As you see on there, everything looks, well, we have a lot of good investments going on. Our overall total money invested is at, we have a return about 3.9 to 4% overall.
What are we getting now if we do a CD? What was the last CD you did for maybe 5 years?
That was 1 or 2 months ago. I got it at actually 4.29, and I think today, over this week, it's jumped up to 4.3 something. So it was kind of dipping down to around 4 or something like that. And today it's at 4.3. So
I didn't know they came back up. That's,
yeah, it's been
might be good for us.
right, right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, committee comments, anything additional?
Nothing for me.
Nothing from me. So review of action items. Were there any prior meeting action items?
There were not.
And current meeting?
To move the requested item to the board agenda.
Okay. And then setting agenda for next regular finance committee meeting, October 20th? Anything to add to that?
Not for me.
All right, me neither. All right, well, with nothing else before the committee, we will adjourn at 4:47 PM. Thank you.